in your corner.
And welcome once again. We're so happy and excited that you've joined us on the Walton Law Firm show. Well, we've already had a show before the show.
I'm wore out.
You wore out?
I'm wore out.
As I think old Heston Yates used to say, I'm wore to a frazzle. I never knew what a frazzle was, but I figured out he was pretty tired.
Yeah.
Man, how are you, man?
I'm great. How about you?
We're doing good. And we might have to do another show on some of the things we were talking about earlier that people would not believe or imagine that this is something else that Trip Walton does to stay healthy.
You know, talking about eating fast food, and I hadn't eaten any in probably 40 years. When I go by a McDonald's or a Burger King or Hardee's and I see a line of people, I wonder what they're thinking.
Okay. They on the go and they trying to get it quick.
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway.
I applaud you for, well, you got to have some other things to go along with that to be able to do what you do. But, you know, if you be successful in life, you'll have those funds to be able to do what you do.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great.
You doing great?
And Walton Law Firm is great.
Walton Law Firm is great. All right. We're almost, you guys broken down in like quarters, like the first 3 months is the first quarter. How do you do it?
I don't know.
Oh, we just got, that's another thing we had. We talked about time and time constraints.
I'm not into time, brother.
The first part of the year, how the firm been doing?
What month is it?
It's April showers.
I got up this morning, it was Sunday, and it was raining.
Flowers. Hadn't had no showers.
April showers. No, hadn't had a lot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm doing good.
You're doing good.
And the law firm's doing good. First of the year's doing good. We're very busy. I saw the other day they did a little special on my legal assistant who helps me with my criminal work. We have 50 criminal cases going at this point in time, which is way too many for one lawyer. And the civil cases are coming in nicely, daily. So everything's good.
All right. Let me give a shout out to, I think his name is Henry Coley.
Henry.
Just saw him in Kroger probably about an hour ago. And he's in your fan club.
Ooh,
put it like that. He's a fan of Trip Walton. He loves the show.
That's great.
Had a big old smile on his face when he was sharing it too. So I knew that he was telling the truth.
Oh, that's good.
That he likes to see Trip Walton and the Walton Law Firm show.
Cool.
And all that good stuff.
Very cool.
All right. What's new going on before we get into some of our topics? Anything you want to share real quick before we go to the breakdown of the breakdowns?
It's almost May.
Yes, it is.
Mother's Day is running around.
Yep, you gotta, take care of those mothers out there.
Yeah.
Not just on one day, as much as you can.
Be thinking earlier than later. Be thinking about it.
Is your girlfriend a mom?
Yes.
Okay,
she has a 21-year-old and a 23-year-old.
So I'm pretty sure you'll be going into your.
And it'll be my first Mother's Day without my mother, so that'll be different. That'll be different.
Right, it is. Okay. yeah, you just thought about that.
I didn't want to think of it.
Exactly.
Moving on.
Okay, all right. We'll go and start with some of these hot topics. We got some shout outs. Y'all are sending some congratulations to the Lady Rams soccer team.
Yeah, they won 2 games in a row for the first time apparently. So.
For the first time of what?
I guess first time since they started the soccer season. Or
it must have been last year, right? Not for years and years.
I don't know where that came from. My writer put that in there, so I'm obliged to say it.
I got you. Welcome.
Go Lady Rams.
Go Lady Rams. Go Lady Rams. Another LaGrange High softball star.
Softball star Holly Lynn and LaGrange High School tennis star Sydney Edlison, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. They were honored as Sports Vision's Female Athletes of the Year last week. So congratulations to those 2 ladies.
Another very interesting topic you have next. Did you know that cervical cancer is, Chambers County has Alabama's highest rate for cervical cancer?
I did not know that. It was sort of shocking. And they got a new program called Operation Wipeout. It's an effort by several local and state organizations to get women the cancer screening they need. They'll do up to 240 women free, potentially life-saving screening. If you qualify, it will be no cost. And let me give you the number to call if you're interested in getting hooked up with them. 205-778-8334. That's 205-778-8334.
you know, looking at that, and this is totally hypothetical what I'm getting ready to say, but when you look at an area and you're confined to an area, I mean, is it the water in the area? Is it I mean, it just makes you wonder.
It does make you wonder what
That why an area like that can,
yeah,
what's in our area that's doing that.
yeah.
So, but anyway, inquire minds, make you want to know.
Absolutely.
All right. What's going on Saturday,
All right.
April the 30th?
Well, the U.S. Drug Enforcement, the DEA, has declared Saturday, April 30th, National Prescription Drug Take Back. And Chambers County is participating with 3 drop-offs, one at the Valley Police Department, one at Lynette Police Department, one at the Lafayette Courthouse from 10 a.m. to 2 this Saturday. You can turn in illegal drugs and not get arrested.
Somebody probably looking at you now, why do I want to turn in some illegal
Good
drugs?
idea. But I think what they're really expecting people to do is, people have old bottles of prescription medications. They have a little surgery, they get hydrocodone. It does not need to be sitting around the house. It does not need to be flushed into the water system. So you can go turn it over safely and they'll get rid of it and dispose it properly. So everybody will be safe.
Well, you just said something when I was just talking about the water system.
Yeah.
Flushing pharmaceuticals. Hey.
Don't know how that could affect.
You never know. And now it's one of our favorite parts of the show. And, you probably say, why did you say that? Because all parts of the show are our favorite parts.
And all of them are my favorite.
Yes.
I just love being here.
We probably need a little motivational jingle to lead into your little, maybe you can sing a little brief song going into your motivational. Not today, you got to come up with it.
Oh, I got to come up with a jingle?
Right before you start. So we'll just act like the song is just finished playing.
All
right. Go
ahead. Now, what's happening is the answer or the statement we're making here. One day a man saw his insurance agent driving an expensive car. "Boy, you must be the world's best life insurance salesman," he said. "No," the agent replied, "I just tried to sell a policy to the world's best automobile salesman."
Okay.
So you get it. He's driving away. He got sold too instead of selling the insurance. So the lesson here is know what's going on, know what you're up against, and prepare to meet those challenges by visualizing what you're going to do. And here's a very key element. We've talked about visualization numerous times, but never visualize, if I can say it, what you are not going to do. Don't visualize a negative. Do not see yourself missing a free throw. Do not see yourself dropping a touchdown pass. Do not see yourself, if you're a long snapper, snapping it over the punter's head. Mm-hmm. Do not see that, because if you see that, those negative thoughts will be embedded in your mind and you will do it. So try to get rid of the negative thoughts. And when I was looking at that this morning, I was looking on Facebook, mm-hmm. and every now and then I see something on Facebook that's worth keeping, and this was one of them.
It's one of them.
It says, "Please remember, your job is the dream of the unemployed. Your house is the dream of the homeless.
Wow.
Your smile is the dream of the depressed. Your health is the dream of those who are sick. Beautiful things happen when you distance yourself from negativity. Find something to be grateful for." And we've talked about that numerous times, about find something to be grateful every day, whether it's when you say your prayers at night or in the morning, or when you journal, if you're a journaler, if you're writing on your calendar. Try to always, even if it's the same thing, you're grateful for your children, you're grateful for your grandmother, you're grateful for your best teacher at school, you're grateful for your coach, you're grateful for your dog, your cat, whatever you're grateful for, list it, think about it, be happy.
Because whatever you got, somebody else don't have.
They don't have it? That's
just like
exactly
you just
right.
said.
Exactly right.
So
I
thought
that was pretty good.
That was great, man.
Yeah.
That was great. So I try to, like I said, and back to those mental thoughts, like this last event I sung at He's Alive. It's a packed house, and those little thoughts can come in. What if you miss a line?
Creep in on you.
You have to really denounce it. Yeah, cut it out.
Cut them out. And like I say, I see mentally putting a red circle with a line through it and throwing it out of my brain. Mm-hmm. And the reason I do that now is because I didn't do that when I was younger, and I'd be thinking about something like long snapping. when I was in college. They wanted me to immediately start long statement. I said, no, no, no. And I mean, I was putting them over their head, hitting them in the kneecap. But it was just very negative. So you just don't want to get there. You don't want to go there.
Exactly. Okay.
Fight it. Fight it.
You got to fight it.
That's right.
All right. You fight it with just more positive thoughts, or you just get it out your mind with the
I
red
think
circle?
you throw it out and then change the topic.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah. Circle it, line through it, see it going, and then change the topic. Like, you don't want to see yourself being in a car wreck on the interstate
Yeah,
today.
you have to change that, yes.
Yeah, that's not something you want to think about. So get rid of it and think about something positive.
And that, me and my son was talking about it the other day, and I'm glad he brought that up, because though we're in our fleshly body, there are satanic forces putting this stuff in your mind for you to think, and you have to denounce it. But it's real. I'm glad he shared it with me, because I got a chance to let him know, no, there's nothing wrong with you when those thoughts hit you.
Yeah.
Some people keep that stuff quiet.
Everybody's under attack.
Yeah, everybody's under attack.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're at the time now where another party fan club, they get the opportunity to send in questions and ask the renowned professor, Dr. William William Bill the third, fourth, fifth, Trip Walton. Anyway, hello, Miss BTV. I like how they call it Miss BTV. And this is from Larry from the Grange. I've been watching Trip Show for years, and I love the show. I'm glad that we get a chance to ask questions. I put liability on my 2004 pickup truck, but my wife said I should keep it full coverage, but I'm trying to save money. And she said if something happens and the other person is injured really bad, we might end up, getting sued and paying more. Can you help us? What he really wants to know is, can you tell him he's right?
Well, you're both right.
Okay.
You're both right. Full coverage is great because it covers you and the people that you potentially hurt. Of course, liability only just covers the injuries that the other people suffer if you're at fault. But let's just say you're in a wreck and you don't have full coverage, so you don't have underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage, and the person that strikes you or hits you or runs a red light has only $25,000 or has zero. They've let their insurance lapse. If you don't have underinsured motorist coverage, then you're dead in the water. I mean, you're going to be stuck with massive medical bills unless you've got great health insurance. But I was talking to a lady yesterday. She was air flown after her crash.
Wow.
The bill is $54,000. Her insurance company, I think, paid $9,000, her health insurance, and the helicopter people do not write that off. They come after you for the rest of it.
Wow.
So you need uninsured motorist coverage, so that would be full coverage. You need a little med pay. On a 2004, you might not want collision, because if it gets wrecked, if it's not worth that much, scrap it. But both of you are right. But if you want to save money, cutting it out, I can't tell you how many times people tell me that when I say, you don't have any underinsured motorist coverage, and the person that caused your serious injuries only has $25,000, and they say, well, we've tried to save money. So don't try to save money. Don't try to save money.
I mean, case in point. And thank
Oh,
you for
Larry,
sharing it with me.
let the money roll, Larry.
Let the money roll, Larry. Let it roll.
Because you're buying it for yourself and your protection of your family, the underinsured, and uninsured.
And normally I pay my premiums every 6 months, and thanks to talking to you, and it really just sunk into my head that there are a lot of people out here driving with no insurance.
Yeah.
So I increased my uninsured motorist coverage to a great amount for maybe $90 more in a 6 months period.
Yeah, it's not that expensive.
It's not that expensive. But I'm glad you drilled that in my head, because there are a lot of people.
And you hope you never have to use it, because
Exactly.
you don't want to be seriously injured in a wreck. Right. But if you are, you need to make sure that you're insuring your own self, which is not proper language, but you need to have that uninsured and underinsured in there, and maybe a little med pay. Particularly have med pay if you don't have health insurance. I would have a minimum of $5,000 in med pay if you don't have, or maybe PIP over here in Georgia. But I would have some med pay if you don't have health insurance. If you got Medicare, Medicaid, that's health insurance. So most people have some sort of form of health insurance.
So there are a lot of people out there trying to save money. and not pay for insurance,
Yeah.
and they don't have it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, next question.
Good question.
Yeah. Now she goes from Miss BTV to Hi, Mrs. Ross. Hi, Mrs. Ross. Thank you for all you do in the community. I love the new shows on BTV. I have a question for the Trip Walton Show. I started following this story about the coach and praying on the field going to the Supreme Court. I would like Trip to give his opinion on the article and if, you know, what they think is this fair? This comes from Crystal J. in Hogansville. And since it's above my pay grade and seems like it's a law question, I'm going to refer to the expert.
Well, you know, I was doing a little research on this situation, which is very interesting. The first case in front of the United States Supreme Court back in 1962, where the majority of the court found that school prayer in the public school system was improper, unlawful, whatever you want to call it. The most interesting thing about that 1962 case was the majority opinion was written by none other than Justice Hugo Black from Clay County, Alabama. Now, you think some Yankee or some nutcase in California wrote it because it outlawed prayer? Well, guess what? An Alabama boy that grew up in Ashland, Alabama in Clay County wrote that opinion and it rocked the world.
Wow.
And it's still rocking back and forth as it's going along. But yeah, the newest thing is a coach, an assistant coach, by the way, it wasn't the head coach,
Okay.
was kneeling at the 50-yard line at this school up in Bremerton, Washington,
Okay.
high school. In '08, and he began praying after the games out on the field, and players would join him, and then some other schools started joining him.
Okay, I remember.
Like you see Fellowship of Christian Athletes have done for years. Maybe they can't do it now. I've never known exactly where the litigation was, but the athletic director and the superintendent ordered the coach to stop his praying on the 50-yard line, and of course he didn't want to do that. He was a former Marine, and he had fought for his country, and he said, "I fought and defended the Constitution, and the thought of leaving the field of battle where the guys just played and having to go and hide my faith because it was uncomfortable for somebody, that's just not American," he said in an interview. So he ain't worried about making somebody else feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
Sometimes the courts are.
Right.
Sometimes they're not. And we see some trends in the courts now because we got new folks on the court.
Exactly.
And the question is this going to reverse the 62 decision and some of the decisions back in the 70s that basically outlawed prayer in school, or is it going to open it all back up? You know, what they did was they said basically if you receive federal funds, you're under, you know, your government, and you cannot establish a religion or force religion on people. And that came back, they went all the way back in that 62 decision to when we left England, because it was so bad over there.
Okay.
One reason we got on the ships and came over here was because of the establishment of religion in London and, well, in England. So anyway, as you know, no good cause, good or bad cause goes unlitigated. So the school district is contending that it violates the First Amendment right to free speech and free exercise of religion. That's what our guys, the coach is saying. If he was my client, he's my guy. The school is saying that no, it's just the opposite. And you know, just for the heck of it, I got the simplest version of the First Amendment I could find to the Constitution, so everybody sort of knows what we're talking about.
All right.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So you got it all in the First Amendment. Whatever side you want to take, you can justify it on that First Amendment because it's got it.
Wow.
So it sort of boils down to politics.
Right.
Which is not supposed to,
Right.
but it does.
It does.
I mean, it does. And so here we go. It's going to be fun. This decision is going to be argued in the U.S. Supreme Court here pretty soon.
Okay.
I'm expecting a decision sometime in June. So that was a very good question. And it was a lot of fun researching this, particularly when I found out not only that Justice Black wrote that opinion, but I have a letter framed on my wall in my office from U.S. Senator Justice Black to my grandfather, Judge Walton,
Okay.
when he was in Chambers County and Lee County and Macon County and Randolph County and Tallapoosa County. He was circuit judge. And he and Hugo were good friends. And I
Wow.
was going through a scrapbook one time and found this letter on U.S. Senate letterhead, and it was from Justice Black before he was a justice. He was U.S. Senator before he was appointed by Roosevelt to the Supreme Court. And he served on the Supreme Court until 1971.
Okay.
So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, it's all an Alabama boy. Got it all started in the beginning. But it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Going back to that prayer in school thing, I remember when it first really came about. My wife, God rest her soul. But anyway, when they were taking it out, she said she was good with it. And I was like, well, I can't believe you said that. But when she gave me her perspective on it, she said, we're at a point now where everybody want their right
Yeah.
every religion want their rights to pray wherever they want to pray.
Right.
And then she was like, I'm cool with it because I don't want no Muslim praying over my children. I don't want no Buddhist praying over my children.
Yeah.
So if everybody else can't pray,
Yeah.
I mean, and we're Christian based, so I'm okay with it.
There's tons of ways to look at it.
Exactly.
That's one up.
And exactly, and that was a good point. she
A
made.
very good point.
Yeah. So
So it'll be fun to keep up with the case and see how it goes and see if they start inching away or if they go all full back and just open it up to anybody who wants to pray. Any religion can pray when they want to. Or you got to do it from 7:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock on the playground. I don't know. it really can get very complicated.
It can. Okay. If people in Alabama want to vote in the upcoming election,
They better
do you have a time frame to?
better get signed up, Andy. Let me find my paper there.
Okay, the Alabama News. That's how you say Alabama.
May 9th. You got to register by May 9th to vote in the upcoming primary election.
Okay.
They can be electronically. You can do it electronically with Alabama Secretary of State website. And this is an interesting point here about Alabama teachers.
Teachers, yes, it is.
50% of Alabama teachers leave their first classrooms within 3 years.
Yep.
More than 50% of new educators leave their first classrooms within 3 years, according to a new interim report on teacher retention by the Alabama Commission on Evaluation of Services, whatever that is. By comparison, nationally, 44% of new teachers leave their first post within 5 years, according to the report. So it doesn't look like it's good for teachers any way you shake it.
It is. It's not.
It's tough.
It appears that everybody who's making the decisions for all the teachers have never been in a classroom before,
That could be a problem.
telling them what they should do, and it's kind of like the plate is already full,
Yeah.
but let's just add more to it. No more pay, and just make them do whatever we want them to do.
Yeah.
They're really at a crossroads. Teachers are.
It sounds like.
And we need good teachers to pour into society, but
Yeah.
I don't think the people who are in charge at the top are helping that process out.
Well, I hate to see education get worse, but
Right.
now moving on.
Moving on up.
Democrats start free weed site for marijuana legalization. I guess the site www.freeweedal.com, maybe like Free Willy, the movie. But their argument is that prosecution for small amounts of cannabis, which is marijuana, are a waste of criminal justice resources and have disproportionately affected communities of color.
Okay.
The party argued that legalizing marijuana could also bring economic benefit to the state. Probably so. Every state is headed that way, so the question is, will we be the last ones like we're the last ones on the lottery? You know, Alabama likes to hang back there and be the last one.
Would say the best for last?
Yeah.
Something like that?
And
Are we even close? Are we getting closer to that? The lottery, Alabama.
You know, I think we are getting closer. So it maybe it's on the ballot in May.
Okay.
I'm gonna be voting, so if it is, I'll strike a vote for it.
You'll strike a vote.
What the heck?
Okay.
Now this is interesting. In rural Alabama, raw sewage spurs investigation into racial inequality. Lowndes County, Alabama, is being investigated by the Justice Department. In Lowndes County, which is the majority is black of the population, the poverty rate is 22%, which is about double the national average.
Right, right.
At least 40% of the homes have inadequate or no sewage system at all. As a result, many residents use PVC pipes to carry waste from homes into holes on the ground, a method known as straight piping.
Wow.
Which it would be illegal too, and they're forced to do it.
Exactly.
But anyway, the sad thing is that in 2017, the United Nations officials investigated this issue in Lowndes County and the poverty in Lowndes County and claimed that Alabama has the worst poverty in the developed world.
Okay. All right. Well, Trip, we are just about out of time. See, Lady Mercer, you got anything to say? We got about 2 minutes left.
We need to end on a positive note.
Go ahead. Hey, you're the motivational speaker,
I'm unmotivated on that statement.
Alabama get the lottery.
Somebody need to do something about it. Alabama go get the lottery and smoke weed while they're betting.
Yeah, free Willie. Free weedy. How about that?
Yee doggy.
If people want to utilize the services. Bill Clinton, he didn't inhale.
No.
Okay. Anyway, if people want to get in contact with you,
they can call me at 334-321-3000 or just yell out, Trip.
Okay. And as you can see, he's on several billboards. If you miss his number, you can ride by. I saw him on a new billboard on 29 over by the old Annette Mill this past weekend.
Oh, really?
He's already on the back side. He's on the front side now.
Good. I saw one on I-85 this morning.
Yeah.
Coming up, I saw this pretty man, and then it dawned on me it was me.
Okay. As Mr. Brown would say, look at you, looking like you looking. We thank you for watching.
We
thank
really
you for
do.
all your questions coming in, and keep those coming in to Miss BTV and Mrs. Ross. And now Trip can tell you guys he'll see you later or something, or bye, whatever he want to tell you.
Bye. Enjoyed it. Thanks for your questions. They really do spice things up, give us something to think about.
All right. Have a great day.
We don't start the fight, we finish it.
Car accident, DUI, wrongful death? Contact the Walton Law Firm, 334-321-3000.